Yeah, so I played sports through high school and I played small college football. So I always thought my business was always going to be sport performance. Well, little did I know, or little did I remember that sports are seasonal. So if you hang your hat on one sport, you're going to be out of business really quick. So for probably 2 years, I trained adults just in the morning, and then I sat around for 4 or 5 hours waiting for kids to get out of school, and then I trained kids.
Oh, I
But
see.
one of my business coaches said, "That's the quickest way for you to go out of business." And I was like, "Dude, you're crazy. I love training kids." And he's like, "Well, do you love training kids or do you love making money?" So I was like, I really like making money. So I flipped my business model from more sports performance to more adult training.
Fear stops us from achieving our true greatness. Are you a professional woman who is feeling stuck, unmotivated, or burned out? Are you worried about your wellness? Are you letting fear stop you from crushing your goals? If you answered yes to any or all of these, then this is the podcast for you. Dr. Charmaine Gregory, night shift emergency physician, burnout thriver, and wellness champion, along with everyday heroes just like you, will explore how to face fear in our lives and emerge victoriously.
Hey, thanks for checking out this episode. Be sure to click the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you get notified when the next video comes out. It only takes 2 seconds to make 2 clicks. So let's do it. Let's get back to the video. Hello, Fearless Freedom Tribe. This is Dr. G, and we are back for another exciting episode of the Fearless Freedom with Dr. G podcast. Today, we have none other than Aaron Hines. Aaron is going to tell us all about himself and all of the incredible things that he has been up to. So take it away, Aaron.
Oh, thank you so much for having me on. So, let's see where to start. So I've done a little bit of everything over the last probably 15 years of my, I call it early fitness career. So I live in Nashville, Tennessee. For those who know, everybody likes country music for the most part, I think. If not, they just tolerate it. So that's kind of where I live now. I played small college football in West Tennessee at a small school. That kind of brought me into kind of the health and fitness career path that I'm on now. But I got my undergraduate degree at University of Tennessee at Martin, and then went to Florida State for my graduate degree back in 2010 with that. And so with that, I moved back to Tennessee after I did that, and I thought I was going to conquer the world with a graduate degree. But I found myself working at the local YMCA. So it was very, very hard. I thought at the time, I was like, I've got 2 degrees. What am I going to do? I'm going to get a great job and get paid very well. Little did I know that wasn't really the case because I had no experience. So I sold gym memberships, and then I was doing a little bit of probably group fitness until I got one of my certifications. So I got certified through the American College of Sports Medicine, that I perceive to be one of the upper tier certifications. It's more medically based. That's kind of what I wanted to do, be a exercise physiologist in the medical field, whether it be at a hospital or just a clinic. But that didn't happen. So I ended up doing more kind of, I guess you'd say, big box gym stuff. And then I got tired of it. So I ended up joining a kind of Fortune 500 company doing health coaching. So a lot of my clients were corporate wellness and fitness employees. So working on health and fitness, I guess, objectives, coaching them to, long-term benefits for them. And then from there, I dabbled in a little bit of orthopedic training. So I did pre and post-op training for orthopedic injuries and surgeries. I did that for 3 years. And then it was probably the first time I've ever been fired from a job. I decided that I was going to just, after 3 years, a lot of things happened. And I was like, I'm going to conquer the world and do this on my own. So I started my own business with a hope and a prayer that things would turn out well. And I started with 2 of my clients of probably my 50 who told me they were going to come with me once I got let go. And I just kind of bounced around town until I kind of made a stake where I am now in Brentwood, Tennessee, running my small business, mainly focusing on men and women 45 and up. That's kind of
Okay.
my niche there. It's funny enough, I'm a male training probably 90% women and 10% males, but I love it. Our average age probably is like 55 and up, 55
Okay.
to like 75.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where I'm at now. I do that. And then we also focus on sports performance. So we work with um, third grade all the way up to high school, college, semi-pro, and some retired professional athletes. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. Back, fast forward, 14 years doing this, and then I've been 8 years on my own. So it's been fun.
Wow. And so you have got to tell us. So you mentioned the first job you ever been let go from, right? And so
Yeah.
what kind of feeling did you have there? Like, what was the fear involved there, and how did you deal with it?
So it was the things that led up to it is probably I thought was out of my control, but it was in like a January, so like it's cold. It was a week after my birthday. I was
Oh my
pretty upset.
gosh.
It
After
was
your
like,
birthday.
what?
Oh my
Yeah, I
God,
was
have
like, what?
mercy.
Yeah, why me? But I took it as probably like it was probably the best thing that ever happened to me. Mainly because during that whole probably year and a half prior, I was applying to jobs. I was interviewing kind of on the download, not really telling anybody else except for like some of my friends who I worked with. And it just nothing came about. Like I was not a great interviewer, or I just wasn't the right fit for me. So
Right.
yeah, there's a lot of anger, fear. I say fear of like, what's next? What am I going to do? But I would tell you this: I got the best night of sleep after I got fired because I slept until like 9 o'clock the next morning because
Oh,
I was always up and about. We get up. I say the training life. Everybody think it's glorious. You just train, a couple hours here, a couple hours there. But I was working, 5 a.m. 6 days a week. So going to bed at 9 o'clock, waking up at 3:30, 4 o'clock, getting to work at 5,
oh,
working that
yeah,
shit for a long time. So it was kind of,
yeah,
blessing in disguise, but that's kind of how I felt. And then from then it was just like, what's next? So kind of had to game plan and figure that out, right?
yeah. And then so you decided that you're going to branch out on your own. I mean, you had no idea like how to run a business, like, or did
No,
you? Yeah. So there had to be
I
like
had no
some
clue.
like, yeah. So what did you do? Like, I mean, like, take us through the steps. Like, what'd you do? Did you like call up someone who had a business and kind of ask them like what the steps were, or what?
No, I didn't. I kind of use the term loosely. Everybody says, I'll say fake it till you make it type stuff. I have no idea what to do. I just thought, I did a great job where I was. I had a great reputation. All these people were going to come with me and it's just going to work itself out. Well, of those clients I had, two people decided to meet me I had access to a local apartment complex where I did some training there kind of on off hours that I wasn't training at the regular gym. And so we did that for a long time. And then I just made a couple connections with people I knew to find kind of a renting space. I know a
Okay.
lot of trainers who weren't really sure what they want to do. They maybe find a local gym. They can rent hours, or you pay so much per month for the amount of hours you want to work. And so that's what I did from there. I
Okay.
had no idea what to do. I made a lot of mistakes.
Well, I mean, that's part of it, right? If you didn't make mistakes, I think, well, really? Didn't make any mistakes? Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's expected. That's expected. Okay. So, I mean, how long did it take you? So, okay, you said, you started with these two clients and then things were building from there. How long did it take you to get to that point where you were like on your own? You were like, okay, this is like a viable option now. Like, how long was that process?
Well, I think it took me so I leased from a guy. So I was renting space. That was probably almost like 3 years, but about a year and a half into it, I really had no idea what I was doing, and I was about ready to quit and go into like more of a corporate role because I thought that was more consistent. I was going to get paid, every 2 weeks. It was going to be great, And yeah, so I did some like researching on like business mentors, and found a gentleman who has been my coach, business mentoring coach for the last 5 years, all on Amazon. I was like fitness business owner books or something. And my coach's name is Patrick Rigsby. He's out of Louisville, Kentucky, and he works with a lot of my closest friends now. But I had no idea who the guy was, so I bought his book and I read it for Christmas. And I was like, oh, these are some good points. These are some valid things that I probably should have been doing before. So as most people, looking like, I don't know if that's too good to be true, right? So I read it and I was like, I'm gonna just look and see what he has to offer online. So I bought one of his like low offer programs, and it kind of went from there. It was like $19 a month. So just kind of learned from that over the years, and then I went kind of on my own outside of that. So I sublet for 2 years previous before I just went on officially on my own, have my own brick and mortar place that I lease now as of February this year. So a lot of trial and error, right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's great. That's great. Hey, it's Dr. G, and I just wanted to take a quick moment to thank you for listening to this episode. I'm so honored to have you here with me. Did you know that I can help you to get your own podcast started? With my podcasting launch course for professionals, I walk you through everything you need to know about starting a podcast. I'm with you every step of the way, from sign up to launching your show, with 5 episodes ready to go. There's a done for you version that's also available. If you would just rather just do recordings and leave the behind the scenes work up to us, then that one is definitely for you. But either way, we've got your back here at Fearless Freedom with Dr. G. Oh, if you already have a show and you need production services, we have monthly plans available for you. So check out the links in the episode show notes for more information. Let's get back to the show. And then, so you started with, just one-on-one clients that grew. You got to the point now where you actually have your own space. And how did you get into like the athletic performance stuff? So how did you because you mentioned that you do like athletes from 3rd grade up, right? So how did you get into that part of things? Because that sounds like a little bit different than the, the mature adult training piece of things.
It was. Yeah, so I played sports through high school and I played small college football. So I always thought my business was always going to be sport performance. Well, little did I know, or little did I remember, that sports are seasonal. So if you hang your hat on one sport, you're going to be out of business really quick. So for probably 2 years, I trained adults just in the morning, and then I sat around for 4 or 5 hours waiting for kids to get out of school, and then I trained kids. But one of my business coaches said, that's the quickest way for you to go out of business. And I was like, dude, you're crazy. I love training kids. And he's like, well, do you love training kids or do you love making money? So I was like, I really like making money. So I flipped my business model from more sports performance to more adult training. So, but from there, I've still trained from the first client I ever had working at the previous orthopedic clinic. Like, one of my big referral sources with a kid who was a standout football player who went on to play college and then bounced around the NFL. But that's kind of where I got started with that, from playing sports myself, thinking that I was only going to train football players. But then I decided to branch out and train all sports, because every kid needs to be better, not just one sport, right?
And I guess like the concepts are similar, right? You need explosiveness in pretty much every sport. You need agility and flexibility in pretty much everything. So I could see how they can overlap. At least I'm seeing it now at my children, because they play multiple sports. And I know that the drills that we do for soccer can definitely help out with basketball, and vice versa.
Yeah, that's definitely great. I mean, it's a lot of those. I think the term I use, or a lot of we use years ago, is like it's got to be sport specific. Well, if you look at all the movement patterns and things we do with every sport, they're very similar. There's a few things you can tweak
Sure.
and make it really specific to that sport. So yeah, I agree with that 100%. It's all relative. Being explosive, got to jump higher, run faster, and be stronger, right?
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Can't skip weights. I can't skip the
Nope.
strength training.
No,
It's
and
so
it's fun.
funny because I was laughing about this because I'm older, right? So like I am 48 now, I guess. And when I played sports, this was back in like the 80s, okay? And there was no like going to the weight room or anything like that for our sports. It was just like you just get out there and play, you know. And
Yeah.
now in high school, I mean in college, yes, but not in high school. And so like now in high school, like even in middle school, they're doing strength training. Like,
Yeah, and it's interesting because like I didn't really have access, so I'm closer to 40. I didn't have access. We had to drive like an hour to go anywhere like what I do now. So it's like it's kind of great to see like how things have changed, but also the things that we didn't. I mean, I lived up north for 5 years, and we didn't have a weight room in school, so we were playing basketball outside of the park. We were playing two-hand touch football or tackle, depending on how we felt. And then you were riding your bike everywhere. So like you don't see that much anymore. So like the
right.
athleticism is there, but you're paying to play now, right? You're having to
Right.
pay extra to do that. And when, 25 years ago, we did it for free.
Yes, indeed. Indeed. Yeah, yeah. No, that's so true. So I didn't even think about that because like we'd walk to school, you know, we'd be
Yeah.
always be active. Like, yeah, so that was different. Oh
Yes.
man.
Now it's about the
Yeah.
video games, right? How many video
Yeah,
games
now
and
you
how
gotta like beg them to come out, like get off the phone, like let's go. I
yeah.
told them like, you know, they have a strict screen policy, like screen time policy. And so it's like they're like, why are we always playing a sport? I'm like, cause you need to keep moving. That's why.
Yeah.
You're not
I
gonna
agree.
sit down and be idle. No, it's not happening.
Yeah, that's funny you say that because my kids are 7 and 5, and we go straight from we have swim once a week. It's kind of I think every 6 months, and we take a break, and then we just finished baseball and football, and so now we're in basketball, and then in the wintertime we'll play indoor soccer. So yeah, it's like
Nice.
our screen time is only on the weekends, and it's usually for like maybe 2 hours max
Yeah, no, that's smart. That's smart.
for that. So yeah, get them
Because
outside and get them
their
active.
minds don't need it. Their minds really, really don't need it. Even though I have to confess that I was definitely watching me some Sesame Street and Electric Company when I was growing up. But we only had one back in Jamaica. We only had one channel, and that was all that was on after school. So
Yeah, but you didn't
it's
watch.
all
I mean,
good.
it wasn't for 4 or 5 hours. It's like that
No,
was
no,
your
no, no, no,
show,
no.
right?
It was literally you played outside until it was dark. Your mom was like, "Hey, gotta come inside now," and you know you got a little bit of TV, and then bedtime, get ready for the next day. So it wasn't crazy. Like I mean, now you have to like pry them from the little thing that they hold in their hand, and you gotta like you just gotta like be more diligent with that. But it's funny because they always contest. Like they're always like, "Oh, I don't want to do that," or "Why you sign me for this?" And I'm like, because I know it's best for you. Because when you get
Mhm.
out there, even though you claim you don't like it, you're like smiling, you're like, active, you're interacting with other human beings face to face, eye to eye. Like, this is good for you.
Yeah, you're gonna be a lot better off doing that than some of the kids who don't do any of that, and then it's almost like their parents are having to beg them to do it, right?
Oh, totally, totally, totally. And this
Um,
thing doesn't really help their brains too much. So,
no,
anyway,
yeah, I agree.
yeah, it's
We're on
just
the same
wild.
page.
It's wild. It's wild. Yeah. So that's awesome. So then you get a chance to impact the youth, and then you also get a chance to increase the mobility of, people in our age group. Well, my age group, not so much yours, but yeah, my age group and up, I guess. And so like that's pretty cool. And so do you have what are your like do you have any fear about what's next? Like what the next steps are going to be for you and your business?
I think, I mean, every day is always like, what do I do next? I don't think so. I think I'll say, I was just say, I should back up and say every year is more of like, what's going to be next. That's just the fear of like, I think it's the fear of growth, like too soon.
Fair.
Sometimes, some people get into business and they want to be like, why are things not going the way they're supposed to? I think that was kind of a mindset of 4 or 5 years ago, but now it's kind of a day by day thing. But the fear of growing too quickly or not having enough space for my facility, or sometimes it's like the fear of like, am I doing a good enough job? And I think some of those are just limiting beliefs of like what I think I can't do or shouldn't be doing, just because growth has happened and people like what we do. And I say
They
we, I
do.
have two employees, so
Oh,
I
that's
think that's the
great.
biggest thing. Yeah, so I think they're part-time employees, but I think that's the biggest thing for me is like it's more of like the fear of what's next and fear of like growing too quickly, too soon. Because sometimes you can get to where you do that and you kind of devalue your product or what you
Mm.
offer. And then sometimes the people who have been with you the longest kind of see like, hey, what's going on? You're not that you're pushing them out. You're just that you're not being the best you can be for them, for everybody, right?
Yeah, no, that's great. You see, that heart is gonna enable you to have the appropriate amount of growth, right? Because you care enough about the quality of what you're producing that you're gonna make sure it stays at a good high level quality. You know what I mean? So even though
Yeah,
you have
it's
that fear, I think you'll be able to mitigate any obstacle that comes associated with the growth, you know?
yeah, and I think that's just takes a little bit of time, right? I mean, because if
Absolutely,
you
absolutely.
if you grow too quickly and you put out bad product, it's a reflection of like what you've put on the table. And like for me, I'm more of like I'm going to put a good product as a reflection of who I am and what I stand for. So it's going to be good, right? I won't settle for anything less, and that's not arrogant. That's just the way it's going to be.
No, I love it. That's great. That's great. And so you have to tell us, how can people find you? So will they only find you if they're in Tennessee, or can they find you other ways? Like, do you have an online presence?
Yeah. So I say I'm online presence. I'll say I'm not. My goal is to be local famous, so you'll probably find me more locally. But you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I have a YouTube channel I'm not very active on, but I'm getting there for that. So it's just Premier Performance TN for Tennessee. That's usually where you can find me. We do a lot of stuff locally, but also online as well, as far as what we have to offer for that. You can also find me on Amazon. I didn't mention this, but I've written 2 books. One,
Just
I'm a
kidding.
co-author of an Amazon bestseller with about 22 other fitness pros. So if you search Aaron Hines on Amazon, there should be a couple things that pop up for you there.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, it kind of was part of 2 books. Yeah, no big thing.
Yeah, no
That's
big deal.
fantastic, man. Lead with that. That's like a
Yeah,
business card.
I know I always forget. So yeah, so like the big real quick. So the one of them is more of it's a backstory of like what I do, what I kind of how I've helped people. So it's called the Athletic Advantage, 10 lessons to becoming a premier. I think it's premier athlete or something like that. I should remember that. But it's basically like 10 different stories of kids that I've trained over the years that have overcome adversity, some kind of struggle, and they've overcome that to be super successful. So all the proceeds of that book go to the Eli Grove Foundation, who is near and dear to Premier Performance Training. He was one of my athletes who tragically died in a car accident on his way home from workout. So all the proceeds for
Oh,
that book
wow.
goes to him and his legacy of providing scholarships for kids who can't afford training like his parents before gave him to go to
Right.
college and do that. So, and the other ones was a fun book I wrote about people 45 and up. So,
Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Cool. And they're on Amazon, right?
yes, they're both on Amazon. Yep.
Okay. Okay. All right, cool. All right. And then Premier Performance TN, right?
Yes, you can go. I think it's on Instagram, it's at Premier Performance TN, and on Twitter, it's I think it's the Premier PT. Those little handle's a little bit different because people have about
Somebody
45.
grabbed it.
Yeah, somebody grabbed it before I did. So I tried to keep it similar, but you can always go to my website, Premier Performance Trainer, and they're all on there as well.
Fantastic. Fantastic. That is awesome. What a great conversation, Aaron. I like it. I like it. And cherish those moments with your kiddos, I'm telling you. Because you said 5 and 7, right? That's what you said? Yeah, that's a great age. Great age. Like, cherish the times. Because let me tell you, I got a 10th grader now, and I'm like looking at the dude is going to like college visits, and I'm like, dang, he only have 2 more years of this guy. He's gonna be gone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I felt like he was it was just little, like real. Now he's like 6'3", like ridiculous. But yeah, these are good moments. So enjoy them. Yeah. Definitely enjoy them. All right. So
fun and busy.
Say it again. Yeah,
they're fun and busy.
Fun and busy. That's true. And then they become teenagers and they're like, I don't know, Mom, if I want you hanging out with me, or they'll be like, Mom, you're at everything. I'm like, yes, I am. I'm at everything.
Yeah. Deal with it, right?
You're going to be sick of me. That's right. This is it.
That's great.
It's all good. It's all good. It is all good. So we're at that part of our show, Aaron, where we have a tradition. It's a fill in the blank. Are you ready? Are you ready for the fill in the blank?
I hope so.
Yeah. All right, cool. All right. So the first one is, if I am fearless, I will.
If I am fearless, I will be my best at all times.
Awesome. The next one is, to me, fearless freedom means
being invincible, nonstop.
All right. Okay. And then the last one is, my battle cry is.
Mine right now is being fearless and unstoppable. I think I'm on a great trajectory to do great things in the community. So.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And I know that you've struck a chord with someone who is listening here, or some people who are listening, maybe. And so I know they're going to go look out for your books, and they will also hit you up on your socials, which is premierperformancetn, right? .com. Did I get that right?
Yeah, Premier Performance Trainer. So it's trainer.com for my website, and all the socials and Twitter, all the stuff's on there. All the handles. Perfect. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time and your expertise and sharing and spending and dropping nuggets to the Fearless Freedom Tribe. We really, really appreciate you, and we're looking forward to your continued success. Awesome. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. It's great.
Thank you for joining me on this episode of Fearless Freedom with Dr. G. Again, I'm Dr. G. And if you like this episode, be sure to subscribe so that you can get notified of when the next episode is going to be. And also, I'll catch you next time. Have a great one. Be strong, be brave, and unleash your greatness.